What's going on, everyone? SiNxRealize here. Uh,
Don't worry about I know how this feels. I do it all the time. Don't even feel awkward about it.
I feel like the problem is that I do it every month and not like every week, every other week. So I'm like,
Still, I know exactly. Don't worry.
all right, see if I can get it right this time. What's going on, everyone? SiNxRealize here, and welcome back to the Sinterview podcast. Today we have I am so tired of this. I can't do intros.
Don't worry. Normal.
I feel
You
like
can
I
do it
should.
as often as you like.
Yeah, I feel like I should just have a script at this point. Why do I not have a script? Honestly, I might even keep all this in just for content. I don't care.
Dude. All right.
What's going on, everyone? SiNxRealize here, and welcome back to this interview podcast, the podcast where we grab a content creator and interview them and ask them questions and learn more about them. This month it is a new year. It is January. The video, of course, is up on the 1st of February, so it's either way still the first podcast of the month. But we have wonderful guest CafeEla, who has 30.7k followers on Twitch and 1.16k on YouTube. How's it going?
Hi, I'm doing well, thank you. How are you?
I'm alive. I'm alive to say the least.
That's very good. That is very good.
Of course. So of course, for people who don't really know you, just give like a brief like description of like yourself and whatnot.
Okay, yeah, I'll do that. I'm totally great at that. Okay. Hi, my name is Ella. I stream on my Twitch channel, CafeEla. I've been a streamer for 6 years, partnered for 5 of those. I mainly play cozy, comfy games, as I call them. So I have a real passion for games like Stardew Valley, Animal Crossing, and a lot of Pokemon. I recently got into Nuzlocking, and right now I'm doing a hardcore plus Nuzlocks on my channel, which is a little bit different, but I'm having a lot of fun with it. And I work full-time as a UX designer in the games industry. So yeah, that's pretty much what you should know about me.
Yeah, all the stuff. Pretty much when I first knew you, it was obviously you're I believe you were still partnered at the time, from as far as I'm aware, but like you were like heavily into Pokemon. I didn't really see much else. Because like most of the people that I know from years ago all started as shiny hunters.
Yeah,
That's always where it starts.
That's the thing. No, I really loved being part of the Pokemon community back then. At some point I got a little bit burned out from shiny hunting, so I started to play variety games like Sims and Zelda, and as I said, Stardew and Animal Crossing. It was really nice, but recently I've been whenever a new Pokemon game comes out, I definitely play it, but for now I feel like very involved again in the community, which is honestly really nice because there's a lot of lovely people. It's very sweet.
Yeah, I was pretty much the exact same way. I got super burnt out from it. Made a complete 180 on my channel, and that and now with like I guess like BDSP recently came out, and literally by the time this comes out, Legends Arceus will be out.
I know.
I didn't think about that until like earlier today. I was like, wait, the new game will be out. Oh boy.
Are you excited?
Oh yeah. I'm actually super excited. Like for once, because like normally I'm like, oh, it's just gonna be the same standard run of the mill. You go to the towns, go to the gyms, pretty much fry through the game with one Pokemon and start shiny hunting.
Yeah, for sure.
But this one, it's gonna be so cool. I'm actually super excited to try a more open world style. I normally haven't gone into open world for the most part. Like a lot of people like say it's like the design wise, it looks a lot like Breath of the Wild, for example.
Yeah, I love Breath of the Wild.
I have not played Breath of the Wild, and I have never finished a Legend of Zelda game, so I don't know how well this will go.
I mean, Breath of the Wild is not a Legend of Zelda game, not a classic one. Like a lot of people say it's just not a Zelda game, but it's amazing and I love it. And I know you will hopefully love it too. And that's why I think I'm really excited, because I feel like a lot of us always wanted the open world Pokemon. Like there was always, I don't know, as long as I can remember, people wanted to be like, oh, what if this was like more 3D, like an RPG sort of. And now we get it. And I kind of can't believe it. And I'm very excited to see how that goes.
Yeah, which I was honestly kind of expecting the games to go sort of in that direction, especially with how Sword and Shield had like their wild area, which is the closest thing to like
Yeah.
open world-esque in a Pokemon game that we've seen.
For sure. And also with the Switch having all those possibilities. The Switch is just such a great console too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I actually just recently ended up modding my Switch, so I'm pretty excited to start messing around with that a little bit.
Nice. Oh
I,
my god. I need to mod mine too. I could, but like mine is moddable, but I haven't done it yet.
Yeah,
See.
surprisingly enough, it's not that hard to mod it.
I'm just scared to brick it really, but we'll see how that
Yeah,
goes.
like I've modded in my time 2 3DSs and now the Switch, so like the Switch wasn't much of a problem for me.
Okay.
I'd say if you haven't modded a Switch, I was actually talking to, I think it was MBFish on Twitter there,
Yeah.
because they were asking about Switch modding and whatnot. So I just ended up linking them everything that I use, and they're like, how long do you think it'll take to do it? I was like, for me, it took like an hour. For if you have no knowledge of modding, just take your time. It should take no more than like 2.5 hours tops.
Okay. Yeah, I need to ask them. That would be so cool.
That,
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
it honestly isn't bad. Like I
All
wanted
right.
to, but like I was always so nervous of getting my Switch banned.
Oh, yeah, I guess so. I
But
mean, it's not my main Switch.
yeah,
Yeah, so it will be okay.
yeah,
But
mine is my main Switch.
oh, okay, yeah, that makes a bit riskier for sure.
Yeah, which I mean, it is what it is. But like, there's like super easy ways to like get like around it. Just it's pretty much don't boot up the firmware and go online is pretty much what it comes down to.
Okay,
So
okay.
I'm like done. Say no more.
All right. Yeah, I don't want to like sound like I have, a lot of. I mean, I do have 2 Switches, but only because the Animal Crossing Switch was so beautiful and I had to get it. I'm sorry. I'm like such a sucker for limited editions. So
Yeah, I honestly don't blame you. That Switch when it came out, I looked at it and I was like, this is so adorable. Low key, I
right.
want it, but I know I cannot be shelling out that type of money.
And it was so it was so fast, like sold out. I was really glad I got a pre-order of it. So
Yeah,
uh,
there every single time someone actually ends up getting a pre-order of like something that's like super like popular, like an example is like the PS5 and the Xbox Series X.
for sure. The
Like,
PS5 especially. Oof.
yeah. Did you end up hearing that that Sony's gonna make more PS4s because they can't get all the parts for PS5s?
I think I read something about that, and I think that kind of crazy, right? Like we live in a really crazy timeline at the moment, and I mean, I do have a little bit like, I guess my criticism on like the crypto market and everything for that, because they're just buying all those things.
Yeah, it's actually
Crazy.
yeah, like the amount of like upcharging that I see for like people are selling them like even on Facebook Marketplace whenever I look there it's like, oh yeah, $1,000 for it, and I'm like, no way,
Yeah,
I am not spending $1,000 for a new console.
for
and
sure.
and honestly, with the way things have been going like the past like what like week or so with like especially with Microsoft taking over
That was
Activision Blizzard.
crazy. That did not have that on my bingo card ever. It
No.
was, oh my god, that was absolutely, yeah, that was very surprising.
Yeah,
Very
like
surprising.
I saw like one random tweet that someone quote retweeted and I was like,
Mhm.
I don't know how reliable this specific person is. So I quote retweeted that saying, I don't believe it until I see it type of thing. Not even 5 minutes after I quote retweeted that, I saw the official
Yeah.
post and I was like, there's no way, dude.
Oh my god. Yeah, that was very surprising.
Yeah,
Yep.
so pretty much right now, if it comes down to like console war sort of stuff, like back in the day, I feel like Xbox is sort of winning.
Mm.
Cause like for Activision Blizzard, they had like Call of Duty and like COD was like had like a lot of like PlayStation exclusive stuff. So
Mm.
so as soon as everything goes over to Microsoft, it's gonna be Xbox exclusives and maybe like Xbox consoles will be used for competitive. Maybe they'll actually switch to PC. Who knows?
Yeah, it's actually really, really. I think I read that it's currently like not clear at all what happens to Call of Duty. But it's like Microsoft is just doing so many like incredible moves, like the Game Pass being such a successful subscription model with all the games included. It's incredible, really,
Yeah,
to see that shift really going from okay owning games to subscribing to them, which a lot of people are opposed to because they're like, well, it's not my game then. Like we're still so bound to the concept of going to a store and getting the physical copy. So
yeah.
we made the switch to digital a little bit already, I guess, with like, Steam and the eShops and everything. But it's really, really interesting how that shifts now thanks to the Game Pass. So,
Yeah, honestly, Microsoft has just in general has been making massive moves and
mm,
currently like the thing that a lot of people are talking about is like how Microsoft is slowly beginning to monopolize the gaming industry. And I'm
and
like, holy, what's going on here?
yeah, and I mean, as much as I like, for example, Microsoft does a lot on the accessibility front, which I'm very involved and passionate about, which is amazing. They also like provide everything for free to other, for everyone really. Like everyone can look at their accessibility guidelines and at their blogs and at their initiatives. It's really inspiring. But also, yeah, monopolies are also never fun. So we'll see how that goes. Really.
The only time
Um,
monopolies are fun is when you're winning the monopoly.
yeah.
That's the only
Oh
time
my
that's the
god.
only time I'll ever play Monopoly is if I'm already winning.
Oh, yeah. I guess there's a lot of perspectives to that.
Yeah, there's just
The board game.
yeah, like 2022's literally just started and there's already so much information that's going around for like there's like
For
different games and
sure.
stuff. Like literally before we started recording, I saw people talking about how Activision wants Microsoft to bring back Guitar Hero or something like that too.
Yeah. I think we're gonna see how it goes. But
Yeah.
also like in regards to that, like just getting so much information every day. Sometimes I don't know how you feel about it, but sometimes I just lay down on my bed and I just stare into the void. Like I just
Yeah.
need to get away from it because it's always so much.
Yeah.
So
That
yeah,
that's
I support that.
yeah, pretty much the main time that I turn my brain off is honestly at work for the most part.
Okay, okay.
Just because my job is like I'm pretty straightforward about like what I do. I'm pretty much a delivery driver.
Yeah.
Like I
You
just
have
look
like
I
so
look
much respect for that.
yeah,
Oh my god.
I literally just deliver packages and that's all my day is. So like while I'm driving my brain's like turned off and I'm like either listening to
Hmm.
podcasts or listening to like music and whatnot.
Is it a stressful job? Do you think it's stressful?
Mm, it's yes and no, I guess. Like it's
Mm.
stressful because COVID and whatnot, and
Mm.
because of this job, I'm pretty high risk of getting it. Which surprisingly enough, knock on wood, I have not gotten it yet. so so that's a plus, and
Uh,
the the most stressful times are at Christmas time, which was when I was hired. So
mm.
uh,
Yeah, oh my gosh,
yeah.
Christmas for sure.
Christmas,
Uh,
like every day I was doing shit, I was delivering like 50 packages a day.
That's a
And
lot.
and now since it's not Christmas, I do like 20, 30.
That's still a lot.
It's not too bad when like half of it goes to one place.
Okay.
so
But
so so like hypothetically,
mm,
I'm doing like 12 to 15 stops normally
okay.
in
Still.
an 8-hour day, so like it's not bad.
Yeah, it still sounds demanding though. So yeah,
Dri-
definitely.
Driving is taxing though, that's for sure.
Yes, I hate driving. Like, I should not. Like, I haven't been driving in a while because I live in a city and I don't need a car.
Hmm.
But I also kind of don't wanna because I'm not. I'm kind of like not scared about my own driving skills. Like, I think I'm an okay driver.
Hmm.
I got my driver's license first try. Which probably doesn't mean a lot, but it wasn't terrible, okay? But I'm always like scared of what other people are doing. Like
Yeah,
I'm
that
incredibly scared of that.
I'm honestly the exact same way.
Okay.
Like when I was living back in Ontario, um, I I would have to commute to Toronto, and
Mhm.
I was like, I'm not driving to Toronto. I will take the bus. I will take the subway. I will do everything in my power to not drive down there because I don't trust anyone who drives in a city.
Yeah, cities are especially tough to drive for sure. Like I don't know how people do it. I don't know how people stay so calm as well. Like especially when I don't know. Um it's yeah, I really don't like doing it. Maybe one day I have to when I like maybe live somewhere else, but
Mhm.
yeah. Until then I try to avoid it.
Yeah, exactly. Until then, absolutely not.
Yeah, for sure.
So so earlier when I first like met you and holy when I knew you and whatnot, I knew you under the name as Elarg.
Yeah.
I wanna know why you changed the name. I like that
Oh
name.
my god.
I
A
I'm
lot of people
I
tell me that.
I miss going into the chat, all caps Ella, and then just slam my face on the
Ella.
keyboard.
Some people still do that. So don't feel like you can't do that anymore just because my name was changed.
I,
I meet sorry, what?
uh, I was just about to say that I get terrified that I'll just get bopped by like Automod or something because
No, not at all.
every chat I'm in, Automod does not like me at all.
Oh my god. I turned off Automod because it was buggy and it wouldn't
Hmm.
always like ban weird things that were not ban worthy. And
Yeah.
it didn't ban the things that were ban worthy. So
Mhm.
I don't know. It was weird. Um Anyway, I did change my name. Yeah, I made my Twitch name without really thinking much about it. I didn't think that I would do this for 6 years. So um, back then, my boyfriend at the time, his brother actually always called me Elark, and I was like always laughing about it. It was so funny. Like he was very funny, and so I made my Twitch name. And fun fact, I had Elark with 4 A's first, and then I forgot the password for it, so I made Elark with 5 A's. When I started streaming. So yeah, I thought it was just funny. But at some point I was well, especially once I switched my content, right? This was kind of after switching to variety.
Mhm.
I believe it was in 2018. I kind of didn't really feel like a big connection to the name anymore. And also it was kind of a bit of a cleansing act after like changing my content. So I was like, okay, I wanna kind of be more the theme that I had picked for my stream, which was coffee and coffee time, and we did that with LARC too, but my name didn't really reflect that. And then on top of that, it was really awkward when I met people at conventions and they
Oh
asked me
yeah.
about my Twitch name, and I was like, well, it's LARC with 5 A's.
It's like all right. So how do you spell this? And then every single time someone puts it in,
Yeah.
it's too many A's or.
I myself had to count every time I would post my link on Twitter. Like I was like 1, 2, 3, 4 every time. And I was like, okay, CafeEla works. I like CafeEla because cafe is kind of like the place, like the community. So it's like a name dedicated to the community where we hang out rather than, just me and then Ella, obviously, as my name. So it kind of checked out.
Yeah, pretty much the name CafeEla gives more of like the chill, cozy vibe that your stream typically is. Ella just screams caffeine crackhead to me.
Yeah.
That's what I get out of it.
And I feel like that's not my stream at all. So I was like, okay, well.
It's definitely not. You're not up running around just screaming at the top of your lungs.
Yeah, for sure. It was kind of,
Yeah, because that's what I would picture an LARG doing.
Yeah, I think so too. It was kind of funny that I was the complete opposite. And there's something about expecting certain vibes in certain streams or stream names. So I felt like this was a positive change. But something I did, which I do not recommend, is I changed my name while I was live.
Oh, what? You did that?
Yeah, I just wanted to see what happens. So I changed my name while I was live, and all my viewers were sent into the void. Because suddenly LARC didn't exist anymore. And everyone was kind of like gone, and I was like, oh, I think I made a mistake.
Oh my god. Yeah, because then as soon as you do it, that page is completely null and void. There's not even a chat for you to be like, hey, I'm over here now.
Exactly. All the viewers were just gone.
Oh boy.
And I was like, oh man, I think I made a mistake, but it was fun for science. It was great.
To be honest, I think that actually could have been a really banger YouTube video.
Oh my god.
That would have been so good.
Honestly, if I would have been into YouTube back then, I think there would have been a lot of stuff that I could have put on YouTube, but
yeah, it's okay. I have my clickbait title now. We're good.
Okay. What happens if you change your name live?
Ella changed her Twitch name live on stream.
Find out what happened.
Find out what happens after the break.
Oh my god, it's a good stream meme, really. Sometimes some of my viewers like to remind me of it, and it's honestly always a really fun memory. I was like, yeah, I did that.
Honestly, I wish I was there because that would have been absolutely fire. I would have been cackling more than I already am.
I'm glad. I'm glad. See, that's like all I want to do. I just want to make people laugh.
Yeah, for the content.
Yeah. And because the world is cruel and sad, so we can all use some laughs, really.
Yeah, that's true. Especially over the past it's over 2 years now, right?
Is it still March 2020? It's almost 2 years now. Oh my god.
I don't even want to think about it anymore.
Don't remind me. I have no feeling for time anymore.
Yeah,
I really don't.
I've got all my shots, all my boosters, so I'm okay, I think.
Yeah, I gotta get my booster, but soon.
Yeah, there's just so much stuff about like COVID. Like I've gotten to the point where I just don't talk about it really anymore unless someone else brings it up. Yeah, so going back to content creation, getting off of this COVID crap.
Yeah, okay.
Because like I could already tell, like as soon as we started talking about it, it was like yeah, that's a thing.
Even though content creation did get a big boost from all the people who had to stay home, right?
Yeah, true. Like that was one of the very few good things that came out. And Fall Guys came out at the right time, and then it died.
Oh my god. And Animal Crossing.
Oh yeah, that's right. That was the perfect time.
That was the lifesaver.
It really was. I remember when the game came out, I already had planned my 24-hour charity stream. Was it a charity stream? It was some sort of 24-hour stream. I don't remember what it was for. I feel like it might have been charity, but it was funny enough the same day that Animal Crossing came out, I'm pretty sure.
Oh my gosh.
It's either the same day or the next day, and or the day before. and I did a full 24 hours of only Animal Crossing.
Oh my god.
I got burnt
That
out
is-
immediately.
Oh, really? I
I-
played the game for like 3 months straight, and I think I made like over 500 hours in that time or something.
Yeah,
Oh,
I think a lot of the burnout that came from me was, well, obviously doing it for 24 hours straight.
yeah.
That will kill anyone. And the fact that, like, because I originally did a separate save, not understanding how the islands work. What happened to my light? Stop! It's the cat. The cat's in here.
Oh my
I'm
god.
gonna let him out. No, I'm gonna grab him. Audio listeners, love you, but this is my kitty.
Oh, what's her name?
Alright,
That's so cute.
Going.
We're going. I knew I saw the door earlier. Oh my god, that's so funny. I thought I thought I saw the door moving earlier, and I was like, weird.
It's haunted by a cat.
Did she open the door by herself?
I don't think he did. I feel like he just didn't leave the room when I closed the door.
Oh my god. No, the door opened.
Oh, did it?
Yeah, earlier. Just like 2 minutes ago.
Uh-huh.
Or 1 minute. Oh my god.
Now you have y'all stressed out.
check the footage.
Yeah,
No, I'm pretty sure it opened.
It might have been shaking like a little bit because I look over and he's like just like playing with like the door, kind of like sticking his paw underneath. So that could have been it. But like
Cat.
like honestly, he likes to hide underneath this like couch, bed, futon thing.
Mhm.
And with his like cat litter in here as well, it's like,
Okay.
this is pretty much his general space, but I'm in here, so tough luck.
I see.
Yeah. And also his name's Lemon. I got to name him.
Aww. Lemon, so cute.
Pretty much when we got him for free because they just needed to get rid of all the cats. So we got him. My fiance Kate ended up bringing him home. Put him in this room because we already knew this was where the cat litter and stuff was going to be. I found him hiding underneath all the pillows that are literally in this corner.
Oh my gosh.
We did not have a name for him yet, and the only thing I knew was that I was allowed to name him because she named our dog, and so I looked at him and was like, Lemon.
You're a lemon.
Yes, I was like, he's a he's a sourpuss, and honestly, it fits.
Oh, that's very sweet. I love it. Very cute name.
I try sometimes.
Where were we?
I don't remember.
I think it was. Oh my god, what was it? Oh yeah, COVID. Gaming boost. Animal Crossing.
Yes, Animal Crossing.
Yeah.
Also, I need a new chair. This one keeps sinking. It's stressing me out.
Oh no.
Chair companies, please sponsor me.
Please sponsor, please.
Please give me the hookups. But yeah, Animal Crossing. I remember where we were. I was talking about how after I did the 24 hours or whatever, that another reason that I did get burnt out is because I originally started a separate save and like did like a quick video for YouTube on the game, like right when it came out, just because, you know, content wise. So I did that, but didn't realize how the island thing works. So that second profile was the main save for the island. And I didn't understand that. So then I was like, oh, I'll just delete that profile, no problem. Did that. I went on to my main profile, went onto the island. I can't progress any farther on that island. And I was just sitting there just like catching bugs and everything. And I was like, why am I not getting any more progress?
Oh no.
And then I spent like 10 minutes trying to figure it out, and it's like, yeah, this isn't the main profile. I'm like, what do you mean? So I had to completely delete the island. Luckily enough, I had a friend that I gave all my bells to, so that way I didn't lose much. I still had
Okay.
I had 6 million bells by the time I restarted.
Oh my god, but it's so frustrating. So
Yeah,
frustrating.
that was after 6 hours or something of
Mm.
no progress. So I was like, well,
Oh
whatever.
no.
Yeah,
Oh my gosh.
I was at that point where I was like, it is what it is, I guess. I'll find something else to
Mm.
do.
Okay. There's always games.
Yeah. Speaking of games, what actually got you into gaming and whatnot?
Oh, that's a very good question. So I am one of 4 kids, and I'm the only girl. I'm the second, and back then, when I was probably about 5 years old, I would say, my older brother, really wanted to have a Game Boy Color. And because my parents were like, well, we don't want you to fight over this, I'm gonna get one too. And I was like, I don't know what it is, but I'll take it. So I got a Game Boy Color and my first game, and oh my god, I got really into that. That's why I love handhelds so much, because I grew up with handhelds. It was like the only console in our house. And that's why I'm really fond of all the handheld games. And I never got an N64 or a PlayStation or anything. I only had my Game Boy. I was very happy with it. And I obviously once I've got into Pokemon. My dad brought the yellow edition from the US, and I didn't speak English at the time, so I didn't really know what was happening, but there was this little yellow thingy following me, and I was just running around having the time of my life. And then Red and Blue were released in German, so I finally understood what the game was about. And yeah, then that was my introduction to Pokemon, and I started to fall in love once Pokemon Silver and Gold came out. I really love playing those games. Oh my god, I will play them so much. It was the best. And I also got into games my first Harvest Moon was on the Game Boy Color. It was Harvest Moon 2, so I got really into those farming simulations. So I really love Stardew, obviously, and everything that has to do with cozy comfort farming games. And later on, we got a PC. It was in the living room, the entire family could use it, which led me and my brothers off into a lot of conflict. And I don't know, back then, I guess, I feel like I can say that, but my dad always brought home burned games, copied, I guess pirated, I guess. Because back then, you had those CD-ROMs and you could just easily burn it from one to the other.
Yeah.
So I would play all sorts of games, and I don't know, everything from any sort of game collection to, I don't know, Barbie games. And the first PC game I fell really in love with was The Sims 1, which I played at my cousin's house for the first time. And I then got it for Christmas, and that was a game I really got into, obviously. And also Morrowind, The Elder Scrolls 3 was also a game that suddenly landed in our house. Games would just appear in our household sometimes, and I didn't know where they were coming from. But I just played them because I was really into it. And I don't know, that's how I fell in love with them. It's really nice. So it's actually my older brother's fault that I became a gamer, which is funny because he wasn't into games for a very long time. Actually most of his, teenage and 20 years. But he got a Switch last year for his birthday, and I think he's into that again now, so that's nice.
You gotta show him the ropes of Animal Crossing.
Yeah, I did show him Animal Crossing. He's really into Breath of the Wild, actually. He really likes that.
Yeah, I've honestly been wanting to pick up Breath of the Wild, but I'm waiting for it to go back on sale, and I feel like Nintendo doesn't want to give me it.
Yeah, Breath of the Wild sales are very rare because it's still selling so well, I believe. Yeah.
Yeah. Like the newest game that I've picked up is Mario Party Superstars, I believe.
I got that one too.
Yeah. Honestly, I don't even play it. My fiance Kate does. She plays it almost religiously at this point.
That's so funny.
She doesn't go online or anything. She just plays against computers, but she just enjoys every last bit.
So cute. I love
And then, and then,
that.
and then we'll just rotate between like mini games and stuff. Cause at first I was like, oh, we could play together, and then I was like, wait, no, we can't because it's a physical copy, and I can't, and I don't want to buy it again.
Yeah, that's understandable.
Yeah.
Um,
Which honestly, we could probably trade her Animal Crossing game that's still sealed that I got her, because she hasn't touched it at all.
Maybe the right time comes at some point.
I mean, if she wants it, I just have to put my profile on her Switch and call it a day.
I guess so.
Yeah, and
But yeah.
pretty much like she was always stealing my Switch to play Mario Kart. So I was like, you know what? I'll be a good boyfriend and buy her own Switch Lite for Christmas.
Aww.
Yeah. So
Nice.
she's finally been getting a lot more use out of this. So that's always good.
Very good.
And she can keep playing Mario Kart. I don't like that.
Okay.
I get way too mad at it.
I can't, like, I always try to not get mad, but I'm not a good Mario Kart player. And a lot of people are very good, so I'm always like,
Yeah.
man.
Everyone that I know completely fries me in every possible Mario Kart race mode.
Yeah.
It makes me want to throw my Switch across the room.
Yeah.
Take it completely out of the dock.
Very understand. I'm a different person when I play Mario Kart. I'm not myself. I'm getting very I can get very like competitive, and that's not usually like something that I guess you see very often because I'm usually very chill and stuff, but I think I can get very competitive if I want to.
Just start getting into Pokemon battling.
Or back into League of Legends.
Oh no.
Oh no.
I played League once. I'll never do it again.
No. I only play ARAMs with my friends, so that's all I do.
Yeah, like the
buy cute skins.
Of course. The closest thing to like a MOBA sort of thing I've played recently is like obviously Unite. I played that one a bit. There's still like a good amount of people that I know that still play it. Apparently, like a new like Charizard skin came out as well.
And Trevenant dropped. That was really surprising because I feel like Gen 6 mons deserve more love anyway. So I was actually quite happy to see Trevenant as a. I didn't expect it. It's just like a Pokemon that you sometimes even forget about.
Yeah,
doesn't have a lot of presence.
Yeah, there's like so many different ones that like could have been put in, and they put Trevenant like one that's like not very memorable, and I'm like, dude, that's sick. Let's go.
I love it too, right? Because you're kind of like, oh yeah, that Pokemon, that's so nice. I really like when they use Pokemon that they're not like using everywhere all the time. So,
obviously they're gonna have like their Gen 1 starters and Pikachu, obviously, because those are like pretty much a given in
those are non-negotiable. Yeah, they are non-negotiable.
Well,
I'm happy they're trying to do a balance.
Yeah, they pretty much just sit there in the middle of developing the game. It's pretty much done. They're like, all right, so what do you guys think? I'm not seeing Pikachu or the Gen 1 starters on here. Can you fix that? Otherwise, it's a no-go.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's a requirement.
Yeah,
but
it has to be.
I hope that more like kind of forgotten mons get some love. That would be nice.
Yeah, that'd be super nice. Like even having them like as like the Pokemon that like you can like just take out for experience or whatever.
Yeah. If you could choose one Pokemon to have in Unite, which one would you take?
I would go with Magikarp because it's my favorite.
Magikarp! Oh my god. Imagine it like flapping around on the lane before it evolves. That would be cute.
Like it would I feel like it would have to be a jungler because there's no way they would give it the capability to actually take anything out.
Well, I mean, they could, I guess. But yeah.
Who knows? Behind me I have like a shiny Magikarp plush, so
nice.
It's not.
Oh my goodness.
You can kind of see like part of it very faintly right there, but it's very hard to see. So,
do you want to know which one I would pick?
Sure.
I would pick Gothitelle,
Oh, that one would actually be really good.
right? I think that would be so sick.
The more I think about it, the more I'm like, yeah, that one would be really good.
I think that would be really nice. And like, I haven't used Gothitelle in forever because it was just not in the game. So
Hmm.
I really miss it. I used one in Gen 6, I believe. So
I believe like it was used for like a little bit for like Gen 8 competitive because of like the
mm,
shadow tag and whatnot as well.
it's also really bulky, which you wouldn't expect.
Yeah, it can be a terrifying thing to just have in your way a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. Oh my god. But yeah, I think there's a lot of potential there for Gothitelle. Team Gothitelle.
Yeah. Um like I could see Gothitelle having like traits of a mix of like Gengar and Gardevoir,
Mm,
honestly.
yeah, right. That would be perfect. Yeah, I would like that.
It'd be
Oh my
super sick.
god. It would be. Oh my god. Okay.
And now you're getting all excited for something that doesn't exist.
If they ever like implement Gothitelle, I have to like refer back to this interview and be like, I said it all along.
You'd be like, I called it.
I called it. I knew it.
Yeah,
Oh my god.
so speaking of like Pokemon wise and whatnot, I noticed recently you've been doing a lot more like art streams and like painting like the Pokemon cards and all that.
Yeah.
Which I also didn't, which I did my a bit of research and didn't know that you were like super into art as well.
Yeah. Always been. It's kind of funny, but first art experience was drawing Pokemon for my kindergarten friends. So,
So
uh,
wholesome.
yeah, no, I've always like I talked about this with my mom just on my Christmas break because I would like paint a little bit at home, and she was like, you always painted, like you always did that, like from very young age, I would always just paint or draw something, and
Mhm.
obviously I was lucky enough that it was like encouraged, right? I mean, obviously I never got like any like formal education on it, so I definitely consider myself like very much amateur-y, but I have a lot of fun doing it, and I always like to encourage people to get into it too, because I feel like a lot of people always think that they're bad at painting or drawing, not realizing that it's a skill that takes patience and time, and just because you don't get it right at the beginning, it doesn't mean that you can't develop. And every creative skill, that's why, okay, I have like a real, well, it's not a pet peeve, but it's kind of like people always say, oh, you have so much talent, but talent really is only like 10%. 90% is just practice and persistence, really.
Mhm.
So I know that everyone can learn it, so I like to always promote that a little bit.
Yeah, like what, especially when it comes to like a new skill, like you actually have to be putting the time into it
Mm,
to be able to get anything remotely out of it.
yeah, for sure.
Like
And
streaming for example is like one of them. Like you've been at it for like, you said 6 years,
yeah.
and like you're still going and progressing and getting better at different things when it comes to it. So it's like here we are.
Yeah, it's fun, and I also always want to like emphasize that society as it is right now, we always feel like, or the way we're raised, we always feel like we have to really excel at things for them to be fun. Like obviously with social media and us just showing our best works and our best angles and our best skills, no one shows like the progress anymore, how to get there. And that's why we think, oh my god, everyone is like really amazing at everything, and if I can't do that, I don't have a reason to show it. But that's not at all the case. I think that you have to just fail over and over again to be successful at something. And also the fact that we don't have to you don't have to excel at something to have fun with something. And a lot of people get their fun taken away by comparison, by um like looking at others more than at yourself, which
Mhm.
is very natural, but it also takes the fun out. So it's really nice to like consciously do something that you're like, well, it doesn't matter how good I am at this, this is fun. So same for streaming, right? I don't know, streaming for a very long time already. And I mean, I don't know. I've seen a lot of like people grow much bigger in much less time, right? But I'm still having fun doing it. And that's kind of the main thing.
Yeah, exactly. Like with like I'll be honest, I'm terrible at comparing myself to like others when it comes to like things either like I'm learning or things that I've been doing and finding out
Yeah.
someone's better than me at it. I'm like, what am I doing wrong? How do I get better? And then I get frustrated and then give up on it.
Yeah, it's so normal, but I think something we really need to internalize is that we're not doing anything wrong. And that also, like, you know, different people have different journeys and bloom at different times. So to really respect that and to like, it's okay to look and to like see others. And, you know, I also think that jealousies or like, yeah, I think jealousy is like something that is not talked about very often. Like we sometimes feel like when someone else is much more successful at something we love doing too, then we can get jealous at that. But that's just a normal feeling, and it doesn't mean that we mean any harm to the person who is successful. It's more like we're questioning ourselves, right? We're feeling insecure about ourselves, and that creates that feeling. But to really accept that, first of all, which is like very hard, and then second of all, to like really consciously pull the focus back onto you and what you're doing, and you're like, well, I do my thing, and I believe in the things I do. I think that's the important part. So it's not like not having these feelings, but it's more like how do I deal with them? Really.
Yeah, exactly. Like there's just so much like compare like times where like people will just like compare themselves to others. Like
Yeah.
it's like you said, it's a hard thing not to do, but like if you can manage to get past that and just keep working on how you're progressing and not on others, it's definitely
Yeah,
a
for
lot
sure.
helpful. Because like an example that I'll give is like when I'll be honest, when I was in the Pokemon community and I would see people who like started after I did and
Yeah.
just getting a massive blow up, I'm like, what am I doing wrong?
Yeah,
Why
for
am I
sure.
not in that position? But then I'm like, you know what, it is what it is. I'm doing my own thing. We're all different people, so
Exactly. No, and that's really it. And listen, also the online world is always like forcing us to quantify ourselves, right? Like all these metrics are publicly available. But we're humans and we're so much more than just our viewership or our follower amount. Like numbers come and go, but you being the person that you are and you building the community that you do build, that's the more important thing. And that's not something you can quantify, which is why it's much harder to compare, which is why we often see those things ironically. Because numbers are very simple and one dimensional and we can like compare them and I'm just as bad. Like I'm struggling with it still after 6 years. I will sometimes have days that are not going great, and then I'm like, is my stream dying? Is it is it time now? Is it this the beginning of the end? But it just it just goes like that. And something I also want to say is about these numbers and milestones. They are not very long term goals. Like once I don't know about you, but whenever I reach a milestone, like a certain sub amount, a certain follower amount, a certain viewership over a certain time, like when I reach those goals, they become like normal very quickly. And then we want more, right? Like if you have 10 views, you want 20. If you have 20, you want 50. If you have 50, you want 100. If you have 100, you want more. And that's why these goals really mean anything. And they don't have like a long-term impact and they will never satisfy you in a way. So it's really much better to put yourself and your values onto other pillars. Like I'm not saying numbers are not important or you should ignore them. Like there's a whole meta to it, but also build your foundation onto other pillars, like why you do this, what you love about it, the games you love to play, the fun you have streaming and creating. And that's much more sustainable than any number will ever be. So
yeah, exactly. Like I hear so many like larger streamers like talking about it because like one person I watch a lot of like mainly on YouTube because I can't just
Mhm.
sit in a stream for hours anymore. So
Mhm.
and like I've heard Miskiff mention this over and over again. Like numbers, like the more they go up, the more you want more of that, and then the more
Yeah.
depressed you get because you're not hitting
Yeah.
those new numbers.
Yes. And it's no different from you being small than to someone being big. And the person that tweeted about that was Dr. Lupo actually,
Mhm.
and he tweeted something about saying, "Oh, he feels like a small stream compared to these." And that was the moment where I was like, "Wait, everyone feels that at every size. It doesn't matter how many accomplishments you have. We will always like not see those things and always see the things that we don't have." And then I was like, "You know what? I kind of don't want that, and I'm gonna like actively try to concentrate on the things that I actually do have."
Yeah,
and
exactly.
and that changes. That's a game changer, really.
Yeah, exactly. Um, so like speaking of like content creation wise, what ended up inspiring you to become a content creator?
Oh, that's a funny story. So, well, it's probably not funny. I don't know.
I mean, it could
I
be.
moved. I don't know. I moved to England for my master's degree, and I didn't really know anyone there. I lived there with my boyfriend at the time, and my English was also not that great. So I really was trying to find something that would, first of all, keep me busy, and second of all, also like maybe I could improve my language a little bit. So I thought about, streaming, so I could improve how to talk and how to really have good conversation and become a better speaker, really. That was kind of like the goal. And another factor that contributed to this dad was that I loved watching Let's Plays on YouTube. At the time, I particularly watched Sips Let's Plays back then. I don't know if you know Sips.
It doesn't ring a
he's
bell to me.
Yeah, he's streaming on Twitch now. Yeah, I just really like his humor was very funny to me back then,
Hmm.
and I loved watching Let's Plays, and I was like, oh, maybe I could do something like this. Like I was always kind of attracted by the concept of playing games and being like a comfy background noise for others, because that's how I use Let's Plays. I would do something and I would just like let them run in the background, and
Hmm.
I don't know, I would paint or like do my homework or something. And that was really, really nice. I was like, oh, maybe I can try that. And then I tried it, and I couldn't watch my own videos. It was too awkward. I was like, oh no, I have to edit this now. Oh no. I honestly wish I had that recording still. It was kind of clear to me that Let's Plays might not be like pre-recorded content, maybe might not be the right way. So when I moved to England, I don't know, it was like 1 or 1.5 years later, I was like, maybe I can start live streaming so I don't have to watch the content that I make, which is, now very funny because I watch sometimes the content that I make, but you get used to it. And it was like a nice and easy start. So yeah, that was kind of like the motivation behind it.
Yeah, I still remember when I made like my first YouTube video. I'm pretty sure it's still on my channel. It was
Mm.
it was just like a co-op let's player or something like that, I believe. And like I still remember like the first, honestly, it was the first couple of years I hated hearing my voice. I, even like today, like if I had my own voice playing in my headphones right now, I couldn't do it. I cannot do it, but like now that I've kind of like adjusted to like how I sound in a video, I'm kind of used to it when it comes to my editing.
Okay.
But like it
Yeah,
took so long for me to be used to it.
same. When I first started streaming, I started watching my VODs back. I was like, oh my god, that's how I sound. Why can't I have a normal voice like everyone else? And it's like kind of funny because now I'm used to it, and I actually, and I don't like, that's just genuine feedback that I get, but a lot of people say that they really like my voice, and I'm like, that's so funny because I find my own voice so weird.
Yeah. I
So
I feel
yeah.
like that's something that that's like the same amongst everyone. Everyone hates hearing their own voice.
Yeah.
Like Kate hates hearing her own voice. My mom hates hearing her own voice. I hate hearing my own voice.
I think your voice is very nice.
Thank you. I try sometimes.
Yes, no, it's very nice. And I got better at listening to my own too, because I also hear it all the time in my headphones, because it helps me to kind of regulate the volume a bit and helps me to, you know, speak the way I want to speak, really. So
Yeah, and then there's me. I have no sound in my headphones right now. The only thing that's going through my headphones is your audio right now.
Okay.
I have nothing else going through it because I can't stand hearing my own voice while I talk because how my brain works. I also have like a stutter that comes out every now and then.
Oh, okay.
So like as soon as I start hearing like any sort of talking, doesn't matter if it's my own voice or if it's someone else's, I start to trip over my own words and then I just completely shut down.
Mm. Yeah, understandable. I mean, yeah. And like everyone can do it. There's no right or wrong, right? Like everyone should always do everything to how they prefer it, really.
Yeah, exactly. So what we're gonna do right now, since we're oh my god, we've been recording for almost an hour already.
I know.
It kind of flew by a little bit.
Yeah.
So what we're gonna do is we're gonna get into one of the multiple segments we have here. It's just some Twitter Q&A. Pretty much before I record every podcast, I post on Twitter, saying, "Hey, we're gonna have so and so on. Leave your questions in the replies." A few people did this time around, so we're just gonna go through what they all said. So the first one here we have is NBFish420, who we actually mentioned earlier, and they said, if she were to open a cafe, what would it be like?
Hi, Envy. I love you. If I would open a cafe, what would it be like? Well, obviously, it would be very cozy. I have like a very warm sort of autumn color palette going on, so I feel like I would definitely do that in my cafe too. I think there should be like big bean bags and big plushies that you can give a hug. I think that would be really nice.
That'd be awesome.
And I want like a kind of like a cozy lighting. Like it shouldn't be too bright. And there would be a lot of plants. And there would also be obviously a big shelf with maybe little gaming consoles that you could rent, like I don't know, some Game Boys or some old Game Cubes or something like that you could hook up. I think that would be really cool.
That'd be super sick.
Then yeah, oh my gosh, it would be so nice. And then obviously that would be a very nice big coffee menu, and there would be seasonal things, and I would also have like a whole section with like homemade cake with recipes from my grandma, obviously.
Oh my god, yes.
Yes.
I'm always a sucker for like homemade desserts. My mom every year and always makes always makes my birthday cake cuz no one makes desserts like she does, and I'm just like, I need this in my life.
That's so nice. Yeah, no, my mom is the same. Like she's so good at making those desserts and things. And I was home for Christmas, and let me tell you, I was basically just eating 24/7.
That's the way it should be.
Yeah, I don't know. I had like a little plate with like Christmas cookies, and it would always just magically refill. And I was like, oh god, Mom, please.
Wow, where did these come from?
Well, might as well eat them.
Yeah, they're sitting here. I don't want them to go to waste.
Yeah, that would be terrible. Oh my god, yeah.
That cafe actually sounds fire though.
Nice, yeah. There should be also a fireplace would be really nice.
Yes.
Like super cozy cafe with lots of comfy furniture.
You and I are gonna get into the coffee business. We're gonna open our own cafe.
Nice.
I
Okay.
I have experience at Starbucks. I know how to do things. It's okay.
Okay. Sounds good. Let's do it. Oh
Uh,
my goodness.
all right, so the next question we have is from Modern Chow.
Mhm.
Um, you've shown your creativity in so many ways. What do you find that drives you to practice and create all your wonderful expressions? I don't know if they meant expressions or something else, but yeah.
I think so. And Mocho. Mocho is one of my mods, and he's wonderful. A very, very sweet soul. So yeah, we stand Mocho in this house. That's very sweet. So I guess he's referring to like me painting, but also playing like music and creating content, I guess. And I think what I really love about creating in general is that it's I don't know, it's just like this very like it's kind of like an essence of yourself, right? Like this is something that only you can make because it's your thoughts and it's your mind and it's you making it. So even if people make similar things, they're never the same. And I think that really fascinates me about creative expression and creation. And on top of that, I'm someone who is often very ridden by existential nihilism, really. Like, there's often like, and that shouldn't sound bad, but there's no purpose of life, right? Like, we're literally a species that is existing on a floating rock in the middle of space. And space is expanding and growing cold at some point. So,
But we love
you
that.
know,
We love the rock we live on, though.
well, you would,
well, I
you would,
mean, global warming. We don't.
you
Never
would
mind.
think we treat
We
it
don't
better,
care that
right?
much. We don't care that much. Never mind.
Oh my
Scratch that.
gosh. Yeah.
Let's go to Mars
Well,
instead.
anyway, but I think to know that, to be aware of these things, and to create despite, like to be like, well, I don't care. I'm still gonna make this, even if it doesn't mean anything. I think that's like the biggest rebellion you can really do against the meaninglessness of the universe. So
Mm-hmm.
I think it's like an act of rebellion and an act of, hey, I'm still gonna do that. I don't care, and I think that's nice because we have very limited time on this earth, right? And
Yeah.
it's really nice to find ways to express our thoughts and maybe leave something behind that can be a positive influence for others.
Amen.
That got very deep.
I'll be honest. I have nothing to add on to that. I have no reason to add to that. That was perfect. Spot on. I'm all for
Yes.
it. So we have one more question, which is really 4 questions. We have Chocolate Kieran. Kieran, why'd you ask so many questions? Why are you like this?
Kieran, I love you.
Which funny thing, Kieran was also one of my first podcast guests, actually. So if you guys haven't checked that out, you guys should. Spotify, Apple
should.
Podcast, my channel.
Yes.
Yeah. Anyways, we're not here for Kieran.
I mean, I'm here for Kieran.
I mean, aren't we? I mean, we all
Aren't
are.
We all are.
we all are. Let's be real here.
Yeah.
If you guys are here for Kieran and not Ella, hit that like button.
Yeah. Do it.
Do it. So anyways, first question. I'm not gonna go through all of them at once because that's just too much. So the first one is what are you most proud of yourself for in the past year?
Oh my gosh. So anyone who knows me is gonna know that my last year was like particularly challenging. Like it was a really rough year for me and my personal life. But I think what I'm most proud of is that I learned, or at least I made the beginnings to learn how to distinguish the things that I feel like I have to prove that I can do them and the things that I really want to do. Because I'm always like someone who is very determined and ambitious. Like if someone says I can't do something, then I'm going to be like, oh, you'll see. I can do it. But to really like listen to myself and be like, okay, is this actually something you want to do? Like, or is this just something to prove something? Right? I think that's sometimes really hard, especially in this society. So I'm really happy that I'm still not like, I'm still learning, but I'm happy that I'm making progress with that. And I'm also really proud that in the process of that, I learned how to stand up for my own and my own wants, which is something that is always particularly hard for me because I don't want to hurt people and I don't want to cause any grief to people, but I learned that it's better to be honest and I mean, there's a big difference between being intentionally hurtful and like stating your own needs, right? So really trying to do that and to take myself more serious, my own needs more serious. I think that's what I'm most proud of.
Yeah, that like that's definitely something that a lot of people don't necessarily have the grasp of. Like
Mm-mm.
I'm also one of those that's still trying to get there. I know damn well that I'm nowhere near, but it's always something that like people have to like figure out really on their own. It's not something that I can
Yeah.
just be like, yeah, you need to do this. They'll be like, what do you mean? I'm not doing
It,
that.
yeah. It takes time, and I think the journey is the goal here, really, because when are we ever somewhere? Like, when are we ever arriving at, like, oh my God, this is the goal, I never have to do anything in my life again? No, these are decisions you make every single day for yourself. So
Mm-hmm.
it's really important to keep that in mind, that we don't make these decisions and don't, make this journey once, we make it every single day.
Yeah,
So
exactly. So the second question I have here is, what's your favorite thing about yourself? Kieran's going
Kieran!
with all the deep questions.
Kieran! He really, oh my God. Kieran's just really, like, Kieran's like the sweetest sweetheart. He just really wants to spread a lot of love and wants me to think about particularly what I appreciate about myself. And that's what I appreciate about Kieran.
Mm-hmm.
But I think something that I really like or appreciate about myself is that I really think about all the different perspectives to a certain, like, I don't know, whether it's a situation or something that is happening in the world, but I'm not like forming an opinion very easily. I'm trying to think about all the different perspectives and ask why did we get here? And how are like people from all these different perspectives thinking before I actually make an opinion. And I don't think I'm a very judging person either. Like I don't think there's very little things that I judge people for. And most have to do like if I judge someone for something, that it has to like hurt my very base values really. But yeah, that's more like human rights related, right? So
Yeah.
there's no, that's not something I would say that is ever personal or has a personal reason. But yeah, I think that's what I like really thinking about the different perspectives first.
Mm-hmm. Pretty much like trying to see everyone's point of view, putting yourself in their shoes, almost sort of thing.
Yeah, sorta.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Surprisingly enough, I actually do that way too much. Like sometimes I'm talking with some friends or whatever, and they're all in they're all arguing about different things, and they ask me what I think about it. I'm like, honestly, I'm kind of just the middle ground here. I just see it from each different perspective. Like even if it's like a political thing, I someone can be going off about like one side of it, and then I can, because I see things from like both sides for the most part, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna be devil's advocate here, but what about this?
Yeah, I don't think I'm a devil's advocate. I still will have, like, especially when it's about politics, I still will have like an opinion, but
Mm-hmm.
I think it's important to see that no problem is ever binary. Like there's often no, like, often right or wrong is like much too simple for a lot of questions. So
Yeah,
I think it's
exactly.
very important to see that. But then I also got better at like, enforcing my own values. So like I feel like I have a little bit of a stronger base for that, which often is like, well, I see this side, but I still will decide for this because I think this is much more grave and much more significant. So
Yeah.
we're getting there.
I had to finish my coffee.
Nice.
Low-key, I was hoping that they were going to talk for like another half second so I could quickly down that. I was like, oh no.
Oh, I should have dragged it out. Okay.
Come on.
I'll do that next time.
We don't have to now.
Okay.
I'm all out of coffee. I'm all dry.
Okay.
All right. So the next question. How many questions even are there? 1, 2, 3, 5 questions. Kieran, why are you like this?
Because we love him.
Yeah.
That's why.
Yeah.
I tried to be a little bit shorter with the next ones.
So the next one is, if you were to give one piece of advice to the whole world, what would it be?
Kindness and putting yourself in other people's shoes really goes a long way. Like, and I think that makes us human. After all, like, we should never forget our humanity over everything.
Mhm.
Like, money and fame and everything aside, like, we're still like there's a lot of like good value in being there for each other, and we're human means we lean on each other, right? We get help and give help, and that's a beautiful thing, I believe.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we're just gonna go right to the next question so we kind of power through this a little bit more. What do you love about life most right now?
I feel very free, which I love. Like, I feel like I could do like anything now. I could go anywhere, do anything, and that's kind of like a cool feeling. I mean, let's just ignore COVID for now, but
Yeah, let's act like it doesn't exist.
yeah.
Let's all go out in public for a day.
In this hypothetical, at least, like it's a nice thought to, like, it's exciting, right?
Yeah, exactly. Like especially since like you now have like from what I'm aware of a pretty good job,
Mhm.
and like just like someone being able to like live on their own for the most part is like a
Yeah.
pretty impressive thing in general. Because
Yeah.
like I guarantee if I wasn't with my fiance, I would be living at home most likely, because it is way too expensive to live on your own. And
Yeah, it is.
I struggle making IRL friends, so
Yeah.
I keep to myself.
But that's not your fault. That's like, the economy's fault for the young people not being able to support themselves because capitalism sucks. So
yeah, but we also love capitalism.
well.
Yeah, no. All right. Last question from Kieran. What never fails to make you smile?
Kieran, you never fail to make me smile.
Aw,
It's true.
Kieran.
But also, like, I guess in general, just thinking about my friends and my family and my community. And sometimes these thoughts come in very intensely and then I almost tear up. But the fact that there's people out there who truly care about me and who I could always turn to, no questions asked, that makes me feel very warm and fuzzy. And I'm very grateful for that. That is wonderful.
It's always good to have like those types of friends where like you can reach out to them for pretty much anything. Like I have like a handful of those. Like my 2 best friends that are in a different province from me, back in like my hometown. I still talk with them like pretty much every day. I've been getting filled in on one of their like family dramas that's going on. I'm not gonna go into it on stream because it's not my story to tell, and it's heavy. But like it's not like a sad heavy. It's kind of just so outlandish. It's hilarious.
Yeah, I hope they're okay.
Like honestly, it's all good. He laughs about the whole thing because it's just I'll be honest, it's a total shit show, and it's hilarious.
Oh my god.
And all 3 of us just laugh at and like crack jokes about the whole thing.
Okay. Yeah. At least you can do that together. Yeah. That's nice.
Exactly. Um,
But yeah.
yeah, that's all the Twitter questions. Woo!
Thank you, Twitter. You're amazing.
Yeah, shout out to Twitter. If you guys aren't following either of us on Twitter, you guys should. I'm assuming it's just CafeEla on
It's
Twitter.
the CafeEla because
CafeEla.
CafeEla is taken, unfortunately. It's an inactive account, which is very sad, but you know how it is.
I don't know how it is because my name is always available.
Okay, that's nice.
Like not even kidding. I can go to like every possible platform. Like I could probably go to MySpace and grab SiNxRealize if I really wanted to.
That's good. Yeah. Yeah.
It's one of the perks of having like a unique name.
Yeah, I guess so.
Because like even my like my legal name that I just don't use online for obvious personal reasons. Like people know my like first name. It's not hard to find my last name. But I just don't go around saying it. But like my just like legal name is like I'm literally the only one with that name as well. So if you know my first and last name, you know everything about me, and it's very stressful.
Same.
But it's really good for getting usernames. Let's see. Oh yeah, so we're gonna hop back into like the coffee topic for a second here.
Yes.
So let's say you go to whether it's like a Starbucks or like a similar coffee shop out where you are. What do you get?
Oh my god, my coffee order. Yes, I get usually an oat milk latte in the biggest size available, obviously, because otherwise it doesn't really pay out to go to the coffee shop. And for me, at least, I don't know. I don't have it close, so I'm always like taking a big one. And then I get either 1 pump of vanilla syrup, or if it's pumpkin spice latte season, I get 1 pump. I get 1 pump pumpkin spice latte, and I'm totally like standing up for my basic girlness, really.
Basic white girls all around.
Yeah. It's just, I don't know. I like it.
I mean, I don't blame you. When I worked at Starbucks, when pumpkin spice lattes were around, I was drinking them.
Nice. Oh my god.
I was drinking them. I was making them. I was slowly hating pumpkin spice over time, but then it comes back, and then it comes back the next year, and then I like it again, and then it's just another cycle.
Yeah, I only get like one a year. I feel like the past 2 years at least, because I didn't really go out a lot, and a lot of stores were closed here too, so it wasn't like I could just go out and get one very easily. But like for me, it's very important that it's only like 1 pump of syrup because everything else is too sweet for me.
Yeah.
So I just like the hint of it, really.
Yeah, I ended up figuring out like that I actually kind of like oat milk, and when it comes to like lattes and stuff.
Nice.
Like almond milk, I don't like coconut milk. Coconut milk, I like it when it's cold in a drink, but I don't like it. But I don't like it when it's like in like a latte. It's not really the greatest.
For sure.
But like oat milk his like whenever I go to Starbucks, it's kind of like my go-to to have in a drink.
Nice. That's really good. I like when like I've been vegan for like 3 years now, or 3.5 years. I always like when people are like thinking that plant alternatives are like actually cool, and I like that oat milk is so widely accepted now.
Yeah, the funny thing is like at the Starbucks I worked at, like we heard that we were going to be getting oat milk for like the longest time, but we were like, we don't know, we have no idea when we're actually getting it. And then when we finally got it, everyone was like, oh my god. And I'm like, I don't care. And then I tried it and I was like, you know what, it's not bad.
You know, the hype was justified.
the hype was somewhat justified, yes.
Actually, fun fact, we had oat milk much earlier here in Europe. But that's, I think, because in Europe every single Starbucks is franchised. It's not really Starbucks, it just operates under the Starbucks name.
Oh, okay.
So the US, I believe it took I'm pretty sure it was like figuring out contracts and stuff, right, with deliveries and suppliers. So here they had oat milk like maybe a year before the US had it. So every time I went to the US and wanted to have an oat milk latte, I was like, oh yeah, that's right.
What you do is you just
uh,
what you do is you just come in with your own oat milk. Be like, here you
here you
go.
go. Please use this. No,
Please
I
use
didn't
this
have.
and nothing else. Yeah,
Should have done that.
I actually had no idea that you were vegan. That was just something that I like haven't heard about you at all.
Really? Yeah,
Yeah,
it's not like
I don't know how, but
I don't promote it much because
mhm,
I genuinely I feel like there's always the stigma about vegans and people always feel like they have to tell their opinion about vegans whenever they encounter one, but
yeah,
I genuinely don't mind what you eat. I just want to eat my food like
yeah,
this and
exactly.
that there's that.
Yeah, because like the stereotypical vegan is like, I'm vegan, you shouldn't do this X, Y, Z, and all this other stuff, and I'm like, I don't care. You do you. It doesn't bother me. More burgers for me. That's how I see it.
I mean, I guess the problem is that we or like a lot of people think that they can convince others by telling them how bad something is, but actually the better option here is to actually show how good vegan food can be. Like for example, how yummy almond milk is or like oat milk, right?
Mhm.
So, I don't know. And I also think that veganism is often seen as something that is very like binary. You're either vegan or you're not. But you don't have to be fully vegan to have a positive impact on the environment. Like you
Mhm.
can avoid certain foods, for example,
Yeah,
and like have a or like just not eat as much of it, really. That's all there is. And no one has to become vegan to do something good.
yeah,
I think that's a
exactly.
very and a lot of people even can't. Like everybody is different, right? Like people try it and they don't feel good with it. I was lucky that I felt really, really good with it, so I kept on doing it. But
Yeah,
I also realized that I'm just one person and I will never force my perspective or opinion onto someone else. Um, I mean there are a lot of truths in like vegan food, right? And what I don't like is when people just straight up deny facts, like you know
mhm.
what kind of impact it has or mass production and what kind of like stuff there is. But other than that, I don't really mind or care.
Yeah, exactly. Like there's one person I know that I guess they used to be vegan, but now they're more like they just don't eat. I think it's like beef or something like that.
Yeah, avoiding beef is amazing because
Mhm.
that's very intense on the environment.
Yeah,
Um, Also fish, unfortunately.
yeah. I
Um,
luckily enough, I'm not the biggest fish person, but when it comes to
okay.
lobster season, oh boy, I'm eating a lobster.
Oh my gosh, I didn't know lobster season was a thing. Oops.
I mean, it's not. I don't think it's really a season kind of thing, but like I normally only get it when it's like summer ish, something like that.
Oh,
I,
I guess so.
that's the only time that I'll really go and get some.
Okay.
Um, so I kind of want to talk a little bit about your you actually getting into your employment that they're at right now. I kind of just want to know like what like the process and experience has been like with like getting like into like the company and whatnot. Obviously,
Uh-huh.
I don't know if like the company you work for is like complete like public knowledge or whatnot. So
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's on my Twitter profile, right? I publicly disclosed that I work at Ubisoft.
oh okay,
Um, but I just can't like really talk about company internal things, really.
hmm,
Like I can't speak about that because yeah,
yeah, of course,
uh, there's more qualified people. But I love talking about my general profession and my field, and I
hmm,
like to inspire, especially like um people with diverse backgrounds and also women to get into jobs that are more technical and that's what I'm really passionate about, and also accessibility, of course. So I work as a UX designer, and I studied computer science as my bachelor's, and I'm kind of just gonna run you down how I got there. Is that okay?
yeah, sure, that's all good.
Okay. Okay. So I studied computer science as my bachelor, and that was one of the things that I was really into like computers and games at the time. So I was like, well, I could try computer science. But by the 5th semester or so, I kind of realized that like I was kind of done proving to myself that I could do it because that was like a thing. Because I was bad at math in school, so I was like a lot of teachers were like doubting that I could do it, and I was like, you'll see. So we're back at that.
Yeah.
Um, and I there were a lot of fun things, like I loved math, for example, which was kind of weird because I hated that in school, but university was fine.
Hmm.
I kind of didn't really know what I wanted to do with it. I didn't want to become a programmer for sure. I didn't really have fun programming. Um, and then I got like a university position as a researcher in human computer interaction. And I was like, oh, cool, that's fun. So we're like kind of investigating how machines are interacting with humans and what that means and what that implies and how we can do that best, basically.
So do you know how long it'll be until the robots take over?
Wasn't there like singularity will be by 2045 or something? I don't know.
I have no idea. I couldn't tell you.
I don't know. Honestly, they might have already. No, I don't know.
Yeah,
We'll see.
we all have an AI somewhere in our household.
Yeah, it's definitely a very interesting time to live in. And it's a very interesting field, like artificial intelligence in general.
Mm-hmm.
It's very interesting, and robotics too. I did both as like a class, but yeah, I barely remember. But yeah, then I was like, okay, if I really want to like do this human computer interaction, I feel like I have to do a master's. So I applied for a master's program in England, and that's where I started streaming too. And I did my master's degree, and then I was like, okay, cool. So now I'm gonna apply for jobs. And I didn't really plan on getting into the gaming industry at all because I feel like it always had a little bit of a bad reputation. Like
Mm-hmm.
you always heard of people being very overworked and very underpaid. And I was like, well, I kind of studied for so long. I'm kind of not up for overworking and underpaying.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that was kind of like an old picture. I think it's better now for sure.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah. But I got my first job as like a UX designer in 2018, and I did that job, but I kind of it was kind of not what I was looking for. I was not very happy. I did things that I really didn't need a degree for, and I kind of wanted to plan, and I wanted to like bring in ideas, and basically what I did all day was just making graphics. So I was kind of very frustrated. So it was really funny. It was just a day 2020 right before the pandemic hit, really. And it was right about this time, so pretty much 2 years ago, and I was looking around on LinkedIn, and I saw this job from, Ubisoft, and they were looking for a UX designer. So I was like, okay, I'll try it. I probably won't get it, but I can try. I mean, what else am I gonna do? I'm unhappy with my job, so maybe there's something out there. And I was called back, and I mean, these companies do interviews over like many rounds, and somehow they uh, they liked me. And what I really enjoyed about these interviews, and I had a lot of interviews. Well, maybe not a lot, but I had quite some interviews in my life already, especially after my degree.
Mm-hmm.
And most of the time, it was really like people really talking down on you because you don't have experience. People who think they can do everything so much better, and you're a newbie and you need to like be explained everything. And also a lot of people asking questions where I would say like, okay, I'm probably just gonna Google this. Like questions that where you needed to memorize and not actually solve a problem, right? So
Yeah.
it was overall like a bad experience. So that interview, for the first time, I felt like people were talking to me on like eye level, and was going by so quickly, we were basically just discussing and talking about, UX and accessibility and the things I did and the things I want to do. And it was honestly really nice. And then I think it took like a couple of weeks because obviously
a lot of
there's
applicants.
a lot of applicants. But yeah, I was offered the job then in April 2020 and I started in June 2020. And obviously I can't really talk about what I'm doing right now, like the exact project.
Yeah.
But if I can give any advice to people out there looking for like a job or their dream job, then it would really be to be yourself and to not be afraid to state your values and to not like there's a certain meta to applications, of course, like they have to be short and they have to be like all the things. But for example, what I did with my application is I didn't only put in my accomplishments for every job I had, I put in my failures too. And that's what they really liked. So I was like, okay, here's everything I accomplished and here's everything I failed at. And they really liked that because we discussed those. And I was like, well, yeah, I failed at these, but I'm not going to make that mistake again, right? Our failures are our biggest lessons. And I feel like, and we get back to like, society really not showing our failures. Like we always show our best sides and the things that we can do, but nobody shows what goes wrong. And really having that courage and standing with it, I think that makes you a much more approachable candidate. And also like talking about things that you're passionate about. Like for me, it was accessibility or like, like really helping and like having a positive impact on others beyond doing my job. And I think that really helped to show my passion and my values.
Yeah, exactly. Like especially with you mentioning that you even put down like your failures as well. Like that's obviously something that no one probably even thinks to do at all. So that like alone like makes you like stand out like immediately. It's just like this person also put their failures.
Yeah. There was I don't know if you remember, but there was something, I think it was like something viral a couple of years ago where a candidate sent out CVs to like really big companies and they would only list the things that they cannot do. And it landed them like so many interviews because people were like, wow, that's different. That's cool. For me, that was a little bit too edgy. Like, I don't want to just show them what I cannot do. I wanted to strike a little bit of a balance, right? So
yeah, exactly.
I was inspired by that, but like putting it into a more digestible format, I think. And to like really be accountable for your failures too. That's a big thing because a lot of like if you cannot be accountable for your failures and if you cannot learn from them, then you can never improve and your experience doesn't really mean anything. So I think that's a very important trait to have.
Like that trait in general is just a really good one, just like to have as like a person, not even for like when it comes to like a job and all that, just like general thing instead of like something goes wrong, you blame X person or X thing.
Yeah, that just doesn't work really.
Yeah.
Like you really learn how to own your mistakes, and blaming others just makes you feel like it makes you unprofessional and not very trustworthy either.
Exactly.
So yeah.
Yeah, what we're gonna do it here since we've been going for over an hour and a
Yeah,
half.
I know.
I still have 2 more segments. This is just gonna be probably the longest episode I have, but that's okay. There's a lot of conversation stuff going on here. So one of the segments we have is a Reddit Would You Rather. So I go over to r/Would You Rather and grab 3 of the top posts of the month.
Okay.
So And one of them is a little bit more of an edgier one, which is what I like to do to add a little bit of shock to it. So the first question is, would you rather find 50K cash or a billionaire's wallet?
50K cash.
Yeah, that seems to have been like the most one of the more common ones as well, because like billionaire's wallet could honestly just be empty.
Also, what am I gonna do with a billionaire's wallet? Like, first of all, most of their fortune is not even real.
Exactly.
Second of all, they can just block their cards, and third, I would never like touch someone else's property. Like I'm the person who finds a wallet and brings it to like the store manager and be like, I swear I did not steal this. I found this.
What you do is you take the billionaire's wallet and hold it for ransom.
Oh, well, I don't know.
You give me $1 million or the wallet gets it.
I don't think I would be the person. I take the 50 cash. That sounds easy and nice.
Yeah. All right. So the next one we have is, would you rather have the power to talk to animals or turn into animals?
Turn into animals.
Yeah, because you can turn in like literally any animal you wanted.
Oh my god. I could like just stroll around, or I could be a bird. I mean, it also sounds a little bit dangerous, but I feel like also talking to animals, I don't know if I want to understand what they say, because maybe they hate me.
Yeah, it's just like under their breath, they're like, do you see that person over there? Yikes.
Yeah, oh my god. Like reading thoughts, right? Or reading minds. I'm like, that's a skill I never want to have. Yeah. I know my own thoughts, and they're bad enough sometimes. So.
Exactly. Personally enough, the turn into animals one was, ow, I just kicked my desk, that hurt.
Oh no.
When I looked on Reddit, the turn into animals one I think was the more popular option as well. Which, like, I guess it kind of makes sense, because like if you talk to animals, you'll hear things that you might not actually want to hear. Like,
exactly.
Like I don't want to know what my dog's actually thinking about me. So the last one, the one that's a little bit more edgier.
Okay.
Would you rather save one human at the cost of 100 dogs, or save 100 dogs at the cost of one human? And the one human has to be someone that's important to you.
Oh my god, that is really rough. That is so rough. Oh my god. I don't know. I don't know. Those are like those dilemma questions that they, are like really tough to solve, but they, like, those are things that are like, how would artificial intelligence decide over this, for example? Like, if you're a self-driving car, like, are you like, and you've like some kind of like the car loses control because there's ice or something, would we swerve and go into that? I don't know.
You gotta pick one.
The mother and child, or like the big crowd, or whatever. Like, those are like really different difficult questions. I think I'd save the person I love, or that is close to me. I'm sorry, doll. I would never be able to look at myself ever again. I would be depressed for the rest of my life, but I think I would be much more sad to lose an important person.
Yeah, exactly. Honestly, I'd probably pick the exact same one, because like of course there'll obviously be like the trauma of like just seeing 100 dogs dying before your eyes. But with that trauma, you just adopt 100 dogs easy.
Yeah.
And then you just become a dog person.
Dogs are better than humans, but if it's an important person to me, then I think I could bear that loss less than the dogs. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. All right. So we have one more segment, and then we can actually wrap things up here. Because holy, all right. So this last game is one that we play with every guest. It is called One Has to Go. Pretty much, I take 3 things that you liked of a certain topic, and you have to pick one that gets eliminated, gone forever, non-existent.
Oh my god. Okay.
And we are going with video game titles.
Okay.
So the options are Animal Crossing,
Uh-huh.
Stardew Valley,
Oh my god.
and The Sims.
Uh-huh. Okay. Oh my god. That's rough. That is very rough. Oh my gosh. I know Stardew cannot go. Stardew has to stay. Is it Animal Crossing or is it Sims? It's gonna be The Sims. I'm sorry.
Immediately
I had
The Sims.
I think I had more fun playing Animal Crossing the past couple of years. I do love The Sims, but I mainly love building in Sims, and building is sometimes also exhausting, so I can only do it that many hours at a time. But in Animal Crossing, I get lost very easily, and yeah, I think it would be The Sims.
All right,
but
done.
It would hurt. Oh god.
It would hurt, but at least you still got both of your farming type of games.
Very true, very true.
You're obviously a farmer at heart. You do not care for The Sims.
Harvest Moon just did that to me. It was Harvest Moon 2. If you never played Harvest Moon 2, oh my god, look it up. It's adorable. I really want to kind of do a little let's play, like almost like, okay, have a look at this game that existed like 20 years ago.
Yeah, I feel like Harvest Moon is probably something that your chat would probably enjoy. I would feel like as well.
Yeah, because it's so monotone too, so I could just talk all the time.
Yeah, exactly.
There's not so much to do.
Exactly. Like I feel like with that game, like especially if you're wanting to use it for YouTube content, you could just like take like the VOD and chop it up into a like a 10-15 minute video, maybe half hour tops.
Yeah, for sure. I should do that. I should start a new Stardew playthrough, really. We'll see.
I still haven't ever finished Stardew.
Oh my god.
I have it. I have like a couple videos on my channel of it because me and one of my buddies were like, you know what, we're just gonna start playing through Stardew Valley together. And and it was as like a team called Kush Castle because, you know, stoners. And so we were doing that for a little bit and like just doing it as like a funny moments highlight type of video, even though it was all just like locally recorded. But like it was fun when I played it, but now like our schedule just never line up anymore. So I'm like, well,
oh my gosh.
Well, that's dead.
Oh, maybe one day again. Maybe the right time will come back.
Yeah, maybe. We'll have to see about that.
All right.
Yeah, so I think that's probably about good for the podcast then. So of course, thank you for being a guest over here on this shit show of a podcast.
No, you're doing great. Believe in your content.
Oh, I believe in it. I just like to I just like to be a total degenerate all the time.
Okay, I understand that. Me too.
It's always the best part. Like,
my caring personality always is like, no, like
it's like no, don't. And I'm like, stop it. Let me make fun of my own stuff.
Okay.
Thank you once again for coming on to the podcast. Go ahead and let the people know where they can find you and just plug your stuff.
Yes. Oh my goodness. Thank you for having me, first of all. If you want to join our Twitch streams, I stream on also Twitch sometimes because I'm having too much coffee. But I stream on twitch.tv/CafeEla. And you're very welcome to join us anytime. I mainly stream on the weekends because I work full time, so Friday, Saturday, Sunday, in the evening time, European time, so noon for everyone on the East Coast. And you can also follow on Twitter if you like at the CafeEla. Yeah, maybe I'll see you there.
Yeah.
Yay!
So of course that's it for the Sinterview. You can listen to this on Apple Music, or Apple Podcasts. Yes, I always get that one mixed up. Spotify. I'm not sure if I'm gonna put this on my Patreon or not. I haven't completely figured that out. but the audio version is always up a day before, so this will be up on the last day of the month, whatever it is. I think it's the 31st this month. I'm not too sure. And then the video version will be up on my YouTube channel, youtube.com/SiNxRealize. And that'll be up on the 1st of February. So yeah, if you guys enjoy it, hit that like button, comment, subscribe. I'll make sure to leave a link to Ella's Twitch in the description down below.
Thank you.
And you can check me out on all social media platforms: Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, TikTok. Pretty much just search for SiNxRealize on most social media platforms. They'll most likely find me. But yeah, that's it for me today. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next podcast. Bye-bye.
Goodbye.